All right, guys. Today we're going to look at Josh Allen and his 2-minute drill that he ran at the end of the game versus the Panthers. I thought overall his command, his poise, his playmaking ability was on display versus the Panthers. And if you look at some of Pro Football Focus's grading and advanced stats, you can see here on the screen he had about 23 dropbacks. He was blitzed 9 times, and you saw that a lot when you turn the film back on. The Panthers put some pressure on him, especially late in the game. They sent a couple blitzes, and he was, scrambling around, making plays, extending drives, and that was good to see. The thing I didn't like really was his throws were outside the numbers, and you see that here. He only had 2 passes beyond the line of scrimmage that were down the middle of the field. So a lot of stuff was outside, and that's fine because if, say, he's on the left hash with his arm strength and arm talent, you have to defend the far side of the field all the way to the far boundary. He can make those throws, whereas Peterman and McCarron can't. So I'm not too worried about all the throws outside the numbers. I do want to see him throw over the middle a little more, just so that he can show off that he can make some of those touch throws and throw with a little more control when he needs to over the middle. So with that said, we're going to jump into the film. All right, so here's the film, and I want you to keep in mind that it's very hard to obviously totally analyze the film just because it's not all 22. You only get a few clips where you get to see the entire field and all 22 players. So keep in mind that this is being broken down with broadcast footage. So let me set up the drive. All right, so the Bills on first down are down 11 points in the fourth quarter with 2:24 on the clock. So obviously Allen and the offense have a couple plays prior to the 2-minute warning, and then they have some plays after it. So start off with the first play here. The Bills send out 11 personnel, and they're in a 2-by-2 set with the ball in the right hash. And you see most of the DBs are off the screen. You have 3 defenders underneath, which to me, when you look at it from the all-22 view, it looks like quarters coverage. So this is a good read by Allen, and like I said, I'll show you from the other angle just because how he reads the coverage here. But it's a strong throw from the near hash to Ray-Ray McCloud. And, I mean, that's a rifle, and it's just on point. Good play. He's got a little pressure in his face, but you see him climb the pocket, just a hitch up a little bit, and then point and click. Boom, right to him. Now, you'll see it from the end zone angle here. Again, 2-by-2 set, but you see these safeties here. They're working widthwise, and a lot of people may think this is cover 2, but the way that this linebacker is dropping to the hook to curl, you see this guy drop the hook to curl, but he also has a flats, and this guy's bailing deep. So to me, this looks like quarters. I could be wrong. You can't really totally tell with the corner off the screen here, but in my estimation, this hook to curl defender has hook to curl the flats, which to me screams quarters coverage, and they're protecting deep. So all 4 of the secondary guys are obviously protecting deep with, prior to the 2-minute warning. Maybe the Bills want to take a deep shot on first down, but strong throw and accuracy by Allen. And then, of course, Ray-Ray gets out of bounds, which is even better. So now that the clock stopped, it's 2:18. The Bills send out a 3-by-1 set. And this is something I loved at seeing this game. I loved what I saw from Daboll when they sent out these 3-by-1 sets, when they sent out empty sets with maybe a running back over here where it's just a quarterback deep. I love what they did with the tight ends and the running backs. On this one, you're going to see the tight end chip release here on the defensive end, and you're going to see the same thing from the running back on the bottom. Boom. And then he goes out into a route. That little change in scheme just helps Allen obviously, see the field better, but it helps these offensive linemen, these offensive tackles who may struggle at times, this season. So I know this isn't the first team, but you saw this with the first team and second team as well. So I really like this play. And then you watch Teller here. Look at that. Feet get a little cross up there, but watch his hand placement and watch him just take the defender wide. Allen, eyes downfield, steps up a little bit there, and you see the finish by Teller. Really nice finish there. You see Allen throw it deep here, and it's a little late. and he's staring to that side of the field where there are approximately 3 receivers, and Seymour makes a play on it. I can't tell if there really is pass interference. It looks like he's draped on him already right here. So there's probably a case for that. But you see McCloud and Foster here. So with Prohl there, and then you got the tight end here wide open in the flats. There's at least 3 guys to that side of the field. So in my opinion, check this down. Hit the tight end here, especially if it's going to be this late. You're going to have those DBs covering up those receivers down the field. They're giving you something easy here. I'd like to see him check it down there. And you see he's got some real estate up here, so he's probably going to get at least 7 yards on that play. But possibly a flag on Seymour there, but again, you can't really tell. So now, ball's still on the right hash, 2:11, clock stopped. Again, they send a 3-by-1 set out there, and this is just great command by Allen. They obviously huddled up because the clock stopped. They come out, and what does Allen do? I mean, he's trying to take yardage. He's trying to steal yardage. So what's he do? He draws them off sides. But then he has the awareness to continue the play. The center hikes it, and now it's just a free play. So the edge rushers actually get a really good jump on the tackle Porter there. But Allen does a good job of climbing that pocket. And, I mean, if you watch closely, it even looks... He does. It looks like he switches the ball into his left hand here when he's climbing. Or maybe it was even tipped. Maybe he almost fumbled it. But nonetheless, you can see the ball not in his right hand. Climbs the pocket, and now it's just a free-for-all. It's just, backyard football. And he wants to make a play. He's got a free play. He's got guys diving at his legs, and he keeps this alive. I mean, he's rolling to his left and then just uncorks it deep to Foster. I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, so his back foot is on the negative 40-yard line, so their own 40-yard line. He lets it go, and this drops at damn near the 1-yard line. So, I mean, he let this one go. This is a deep pass, and honestly, if Foster, has a little more giddy up in his step, he probably gets to it here. Just a good job of, the ball was actually knocked out. It wasn't transferred. So the ball comes out, keeps his head in the play, and tries making a play. And Foster stops here. Honestly, if he continues running, there's a good chance he could be wide open where Allen's hitting him. Because obviously right now the ball is already in the air. So right here, the ball's probably in the air already, and by then it's too late. He can't make up enough ground. So Foster's had issues with drops, but he's also had issues with staying in the play. And when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, every play you got to stay alive. All right, it's kind of like Aaron Rodgers, where it doesn't matter how deep in a progression you are, you got to stay alive as if you're going to get the ball. Because guess what? These kind of quarterbacks, this kind of arm talent, can keep plays alive and throw the ball deep. So on to 2nd and 5 after that free play. Clock's obviously stopped just above the 2-minute warning. And a play where, again, he's just going to scramble and extend the drive. I mean, he does a really good job of making guys miss here. Again, we can't tell downfield if anyone's open. It looks like it's straight man coverage. Everyone's pressed. Their posture is looking right at the wide receiver. You got this linebacker manning up on Keith Ford, and it looks like this defensive back is off and soft there. So it looks like man coverage. So it's tough to tell if anyone's open. Post-snap, you'll see there's some disruption here by the DB on the tight end. You got the rat defender right here helping underneath, so there's nothing quick there. Prohl is just running to the flats. That's pretty much covered. And then McCloud to the top of the screen. Doesn't look like he shakes free either. He looks like he tries breaking inside and then getting back outside, but the DB does a good job. So it doesn't look like anyone's open versus cover 1 here. So Allen just uses his legs. It's something that the Bills dealt a lot with last year with Taylor. Anytime he saw man coverage, more times than not, he was just going to scramble. Well, if teams aren't going to spy Allen like this on a 2nd and 5 situation, He knows he has a free play on top of the 2-minute warning and man coverage, no spy. That's great recognition. He makes that rat defender miss after, right around the first down marker. He makes that guy miss, and then he's looking for out of bounds. So good job here of even stealing a few more yards after making this cornerback miss and getting up the field. So that's a really heads-up play by Josh Allen. So now the Bills are under the 2-minute warning, and it's 1st and 10. They send out another 3-by-1 set. And again, it just watch the tight end here. Watch the running back there. And this was just an incomplete pass. I wish I had the all-22 on this, because this does look like just a blown pass, an inaccurate pass by him. Because it looks like McCloud may even have him beat, but I don't know if Allen was expecting some kind of other route. But again, the play design, I like how, and it's something the Patriots do a lot of. And Daboll obviously brought this over, where he's going to get the chips and the releases and that flare control by the running back to the other side of the field. You're going to see a lot of it. So clock stop, 2nd and 10. The Panthers have at least 5-6 guys in the box. It looks like they're in some type of man coverage just from the look of it here. Again, if you look at the linebacker here, he looks to be manned up on the running back, and everyone's manned up here, and you just can't see the corner that's off and soft to the field. You'll typically see that when teams are in man coverage. They're going to have the field corner off a little bit so that he can't get beat deep. And yes, it does look like man coverage. They get that chip from the tight end, and watch what that does. As a pass rusher, when these chips are coming, that means they cannot go wide. So it helps the tackle, obviously, and you'll see a little game here as a twist as he goes inside. So he's able to release immediately. You'll see the chip on the other side again by the running back, and the Bills are in business. So Allen's able to stand tall there, but it doesn't appear that anyone's open from what we can see from this angle. And this is when he just drops a dime. I mean, this is just ridiculous. There's nothing here, but you got to love what he's doing. You see him bouncing on his toes. He's keeping his throwing posture good, his balance good, his shoulders are level, eyes downfield. There's no one open. Now, this defender comes free, and so he's now in scramble mode. But he does such a good job knowing that it's a man coverage. You'll see him generate the torque off this right leg. He's pushing all of his momentum up through his leg, his hips, and then he transfers that energy to his arm when he's throwing it off balance, fading away from nearly the 45 yard line so the Bills 46 yard line. He's fading away, and he drops it in the bucket to around the 18 yard line of the Panthers. I mean, look at that placement. Again, man coverage. So once the tight end broke downfield, the defender is playing the man. He's not playing the ball. So he's just waiting for this ball to come in and then play up through the pocket, try to put his hand up through the two hands of the tight end here. But the ball placement, and you see the defender's left hand up in there already, the placement is just perfect. And a great high point by Kari Lee on that play. Gets his 2 feet down. But even better is that he keeps the ball and his arms extended away from his body, away from that defender who's trying to punch it up through the pocket here. So a great play of just making a play by Allen, and then Kari Lee with a fantastic catch that I know Allen got a lot of credit on this play, but give Lee some credit because this is great catch technique and strong hands as you come down to the ground and are able to secure that pass. Nice little shove, forearm shiver here. Gets up, and again, look at that defender trying to punch through and scrape it out there, but just a good job of using his length to bring that ball down. So now this is great. So here's the touchdown, right? Look at the clock. The clock's running. And it's, again, they're still down 11. Clock's running. There's no huddle here. There's no huddle here. You see right before, look, they're not huddled. So he's communicating what play they're going to run here, what routes they're going to run, and you're going to see the 2x2 set out of 11 personnel. So this is something that you can't put a price on, all right? As McDermott always says, these young players, we want to get them reps, but these type of reps in a 2-minute drill where, you know, the clock's running here and they just had a big play and the stadium's going nuts. We got to get to the next play. So their head's in this play. Their focus is in on this next play. And he gets them set. And this is just a phenomenal play from top to bottom. And I'm going to let it play, and then we're going to break this down because this is just awesome. All right, so you'll see the two safeties here. And what the defense drops into is cover 2, but it's a red zone cover 2. So it kind of looks like quarters. It fits like quarters coverage, but it is actually cover 2. And with the ball in the right hash and the clock running, the defense is thinking, well, they want a play that goes near the boundary and they can get out of bounds, stop the clock, gather up, and then call a play because obviously they don't have any timeouts. So they want to stop the clock and then huddle up and come up with a good play, get Daboll in the headset of Josh Allen and walk him through it. Well, that doesn't happen here. The defense sits in their cover 2. Josh Allen, it wants to work the short side of the field, but he knows that this defense is in cover 2. And with that cover 2 look, this corner is typically responsible for that flats area. So knowing the situation on defense, the corner is probably going to jump this flat route so that, you know, he can make the tackle inbounds and keep that clock running. Well, Allen knows this. And so what does he do? He baits that corner. He holds that corner. And you see him at the top of that drop. He points that shoulder and a little shoulder fake, a little pump fake, and it holds that corner because that corner is thinking that's going to go right here. It holds him. That allows McCloud to slip by, and the location of this pass, and you'll see it here in a few minutes, is just perfect. So great situational awareness by Allen. He's basically a step ahead of this defense. It's crazy. And here's a all 22 angle that I pulled from Brian Baldinger's analysis earlier today. And see this corner? I mean, his eyes are obviously, he's got this receiver in his peripheral. He's got the number 2 receiver, who's the tight end here, in his peripheral, and then his eyes are on the quarterback, and he's reading the depth of the drop. That's a throwing posture. This corner is gonna hold right here because of that. He's thinking that Allen's gonna throw it, and that holds him right here. You see him point to the safety because he's passing him on in this cover 2. Again, this is cover 2, but it's a red zone cover 2. It's slightly different. It's almost like quarters where the safety is reading 2-1, and basically number 2 goes to the flats. That corner would jump it, safety would be over top. So it happens very quickly though. This corner passes him on and holds, but this is still a super tight window. Super tight. And you see it from the other angle here in a second. McCloud does such a good job of throttling down in that window, because if he just blows by here at full speed, this safety has it so much easier on an angle. He doesn't. He throttles down right near the goal line, and then you see the pass, which is right here, slide right through that window. And the placement again is just, it can't be any better. There's that shoulder fake coming, baits that corner, and then the throw through the tight window, and the placement low to McCloud's back shoulder was just phenomenal. And you see McCloud here throttle down right in the window. I mean, just threads it low. And the low pass is great because it's going to save him from a big hit. He can cradle the catch here, and it's a touchdown. I mean, just a great play from top to bottom. And I'll let it run again because it was just such a good play by Allen. Such great awareness of not only the situation of the clock running and getting the play without huddling, and getting everyone set, making sure everyone's set before the snaps there, knowing the coverage that he's expecting there versus his 2x2 set. And it's just a great play. And I know Prolo's open to the top of the screen here, but again, when you're in that situation of the clock running and you want to stop the clock, and you see the top of the screen, you see this defender hanging with the number 2. So there's another reason why he probably didn't throw it. But again, this is a half field read. When they get up to the line of scrimmage and the ball's on the right hash, clock running, and he knows this route combination here, this is a play that they from the get-go, the ball was going to the right side of the field, from the near hash. So I know Prohl comes open, but you see this is, pretty good bracket coverage right here as soon as Prohl is making the break here. So again, it's in hindsight, he's open with the safety looking at one over the top, but given the situation, I think this was a smart decision. And you have supreme confidence in your arm. I mean, this is a ballsy throw. This takes guts. These are throws that quarterbacks that the Bills had in the past probably wouldn't make. This is that gunslinger mentality that Buffalo fans have wanted. This is not really an open player, but it's a phenomenal throw. I mean, it's just such a good throw. Just a ballsy play by the rookie quarterback. Obviously, the touchdown, and they want to go over 2. They're in a huddle, and so they set up, and you have an empty set. You have the running back down here, and you saw this all training camp. They'll try to motion him in, but Carolina is not set. They had a guy come on late. You can see a guy come on late here. So they let the Bills set up to see what they were going to do, and then they motion this guy in, and Carolina calls the timeout. All right, so the Bills huddle up, gather themselves, get the play in there, and start setting up for the 2-point conversion. You have Prohl coming on late here, so looks like they're in another empty set with the running back to the bottom of the screen. Again, I don't think they really change a play, but this is what Daboll does. We talk about how much movement he brings. Okay, down here looks to be a safety, right? You're going to see that running back motion in the backfield. Why do you do that? Something simple. It declares whether they're in zone or man coverage. Now I want you to watch Allen here. Complete awareness. Okay, so he sees that movement. He sees how everyone's lined up. This is an alert call. Hey, this is man coverage. So typically they're going to be running routes that are man coverage beaters. Now it's hard to tell what they run here from this 2x2 set, but especially to the bottom of the screen, the tight end stays in, which is not good. I mean, it looks like to the bottom of the screen, Dupree's basically running a fade route. He doesn't appear open. The guy, his defender, does a man turn right into him, so he's not open. Now Allen's trying to work to the top of the screen. I don't like the routes up here versus man coverage. It looks like they tried some type of smash concept. You're going to have Foster getting physical with that defensive back, knocks him right out onto the ground. So he's running some type of short in route here, and I think Prohl, just based at the top of the route, does a good job. He gets passed on to the safety, and I think right here he's probably going to the corner. So it looks like some type of smash concept, and it probably was there, especially with this corner falling down, but the pressure was coming off the edge. Like, you'd like to see Allen try to climb the pocket there, but keep his eyes downfield. Looking down to the bottom of the screen, that guy's manned up. He's probably not open. So you'd like to see him climb here, but stay on that initial route, because your only shot really was over here with the 2-man route concept. So he tries escaping the pocket, stiff arming the guy here, and it doesn't work out. But it looks like, yeah, at the very end you can see Prohl right here, but I mean, there's a pretty good chance that he's covered up too. So Allen tries making a play, and it doesn't work out, obviously. But I will say, how about the strength with this guy? I mean, he's a big guy. He's that Big Ben type of body frame. I mean, he tries making a play here, but watch from behind. He doesn't even know that guy's coming from behind him. He's trying to break a tackle here. Guy's coming from behind. Obviously, you want 2 hands on the ball here, but he doesn't have it here. You see the hook come in here, but look at Allen, does a good job of holding that ball. So that's some pretty good strength by the rookie quarterback. All in all, I thought Allen played a pretty good game. The stats may not always back that up with his completion percentage, but if you factor in the drops and all that, he was above 60% completion percentage. But when it comes to preseason, you kind of should look away from the stat lines and the box scores, because it's situations like this that are really going to gain their value, and how well this guy played in the preseason and how many important reps this guy got in the preseason. And this is his first game. So you saw him handle himself pretty well. You saw him have command of the huddle. have command at the line of scrimmage, pre to post snap, reading coverages, taking shot plays like that when he drew the defense off sides. So, I mean, it was really nice to see. And then, of course, to have him capitalize while the clock is running, while the defense has really a decent coverage call to stop what Allen wants to do. I mean, it was really a heads-up drive by Josh Allen, and let's hope that he can continue to, drive up the depth charts and, get some more time with those ones, because if he can get some good reps with the ones and twos, I mean, who knows what type of plays he's going to make. Maybe these guys, the third stringers, aren't really getting open. It's hard to tell without the all-22, but maybe the ones and twos are able to get open better, and he's able to make plays within the structure of the play, not scrambling around and extending plays and taking shots down the field. So let's hope that he continues to improve. But that 2-minute drill was priceless, and it was nice to see him capitalize. So again, thanks for tuning in to this film room session. I'll be doing these from time to time. I may even do another one from this game. There's so much to really break down, but I wanted to get this 2-minute drill by Josh Allen out. So thanks for tuning in.